Part of my job as a realtor is providing people data and information so they can make the best decisions for them and their families, having maybe nothing to do with real estate. There's lots of factors that influence people as far as where you want to live and where you want to be. So today we're going to cover the demographic and political climate of Colorado Springs at a very high level. This is not an opinionated analysis. I'm just going to give you stats and data to help you understand kind of the general flavor and feel as far as the demographics and political environment of Colorado Springs. Let's go. Connect with people just like you every day to help them discover where to live and invest in real estate and sell property for top dollar when the time is just right for them. My name is Leif Jacobson. I'm an ex-cop turned realtor, also known as Safe Leif. If you're new to this channel, subscribe so you're first to learn about Colorado real estate. My contact information is below. Reach out by text, call, or email after this video or book a calendar event and I'll reach out to you. Colorado Springs was founded in 1871 as far as a municipality and has been growing in population ever since and bolstered by the construction and installation of Fort Carson military base, it's an Army base on the south side of town, which is a huge base that reaches way down to the south part of Colorado. A lot of people don't understand how large that military base actually is, which was built in the 1940s. And so that's from that time, it became a military installation down there and more military bases followed. And it became, now we have 5 military bases in Colorado Springs area. So it's become a huge military community. Primarily Air Force and Army bases, but there's also the United States Air Force Academy, which is a legendary institution and was recently noted as the hub of the U.S. Space Force. And that's a huge deal. That's bringing 15,000 families in just because of the Space Force kind of setting their flagship hub here. As of 2023, the population of Colorado Springs municipality is 491,000 people, and the county has pretty close to 800,000 as far as the population. The most recent calculation is within 20 years, Colorado Springs will actually have a greater population than Denver, which is a couple million people. So there's no question. It's one of the fastest growing cities in the United States, one of the most desirable cities to live in the entire United States, and repeatedly ranks on the top 25 as far as most desirable places to live and or retire in the United States. And it's a tourism destination. A lot of people don't know. People think of Breckenridge and Vail and other areas as far as tourists, but Colorado Springs actually has a huge tourist contingent on an annual basis that come to visit Colorado Springs specifically, the cute little towns and cities like Manitou Springs that surround it. And you can literally, basically from downtown Colorado Springs, you can hike up to the top, straight up into the mountains and right to the top of Pikes Peak if you want. It's a 26-mile round trip. It's not a small hike, but it is amazing as far as the tourist draw that has. The broad racial demographics in Colorado Springs: white at 75%, mixed race at 10%, black or African American just about 6%, other races 5%, Asian 3%, Native American 1%, and Native Hawaiian or Pacific Islander 1/4%. 87% of Colorado Springs residents speak English. 12% speak other languages, and just about 8% speak Spanish. Of the 500,000 residents in Colorado Springs, 33% were born in Colorado Springs. It's actually kind of rare to meet a native. Most people here are transplants, and including me. I came here from the Seattle area many years ago, and so it's pretty rare when you actually talk to a native. And 95% are U.S. native born, 8% are foreign born, and 3.5% are non-citizens. Here's a few educational statistics. About 19% of Colorado Springs residents over 25 years old are high school graduates with no university or college experience. About 35% of Colorado Springs residents over 25 have some college, and 11% over 25 years old have associate's degrees, 25% have a bachelor's degree, and 16% have graduate degrees. The overall poverty rate in Colorado Springs is 10.91% versus the U.S. average is 12.4%. Employment rate is 61%, just over that, and unemployment rate is just pushing 6%. Average household income in Colorado Springs is $94,000. Median household income in Colorado Springs is $72,000. versus the United States is $74,000 average. Rate of home ownership in Colorado Springs is 61% of the residents own homes or properties versus 66% is the U.S. average. Colorado was once considered a swing state politically as far as being Republican leaning or red centered, but it's actually changed over the last 20 years. The residents and demographics have drastically changed the political climate to be much more of a blue state in Colorado. Democrats currently hold nearly every statewide office and majorities in both chambers of the legislature. A study by a UCLA professor actually lists Colorado Springs as the #4 most conservative city in the U.S. It's widely assumed this is largely due to military influence, as people who work with, work for, contract, and or are retiring from military as far as personnel. Colorado Springs has had a huge influx of evangelical Christians and evangelical Christian organizations over the last few decades, to the tune of over 600 nonprofit organizations. One of those, which is well known nationally and well known locally, is Focus on the Family. I know lots of friends who work at Focus on the Family. It's a huge employer in Colorado Springs. They have a 550,000 square foot campus that's over 47 acres. But to be fair, Colorado Springs politics may not be as heavily influenced by Christian conservatives as you might think. University of Colorado Springs professor Josh Dunn said the reputation of Colorado Springs for a long time has been that there are so many social conservatives, and particularly evangelicals here, that they run city politics and control politics in Colorado Springs and El Paso County. That's just not the case. Colorado Springs is actually one of the most secular cities in the scheme of things as far as the United States, because only about 20% of the people attend church regularly, which is interesting. There's over 400 churches and lots of Christian organizations in Colorado Springs. I think that's fascinating. All that is much lower than the national average as far as people reportedly attending church is 31% as a nation. There are 485,000 registered voters in El Paso County, which is where Colorado Springs is located. Total registered Republicans in the state of Colorado, 24.7% of registered voters. In El Paso County, it's 30% of registered voters. Total registered Democrats in the state of Colorado is 27%. El Paso County, 17% of the population. Total registered independents in the state of Colorado is 45% of the population. In El Paso County, just under 50% of the population. In the last political election, 42% of the population voted Democrat, 53% voted Republican, and about 4% voted independent. The current Colorado Springs mayor, who was elected just a year ago, 2023, his name is Yemi. He was the first non-Republican mayor actually ever voted into the city. And his predecessor, John Suthers, actually won the election in 2019 as mayor with 72% of the vote, which is a pretty high percentage. And that political climate and those demographics look a little different. Actually, there's less registered Republicans in El Paso County over the last 4 years and more as far as Democrats. Despite the feeling or the assumption that Colorado Springs is super conservative, it's actually only one of 7 cities in Colorado as of 2019 that allow medical marijuana distribution centers, which is over 100 of those located just in the city of Colorado Springs. Lastly, we'll talk about a couple of educational institutions that definitely shape the political climate and the future of Colorado Springs. Colorado Springs University, Colorado College, a 148-year-old small liberal arts college of approximately 2,000 students, is situated in central Colorado Springs. It's ranked number 6 on Princeton Review's list of best colleges for hippies due to the student body's overall liberal political views and lack of interest in religion, actually. University of Colorado Springs is a regional university, around 12,000 students, tends to be more moderate as far as political influence with a slight liberal skew. And then the Air Force Academy, which is legendary here. I'm sure everyone's heard of the Air Force Academy. It's a public institution founded in 1954, around 4,000 students as of fall of 2022. As far as enrollment, campus size is just over 18,000 acres. So there's just some semi-random and kind of general information. I'm intentionally not trying to speak to or provide any kind of analysis as far as the political climate of Colorado Springs, just giving you a high level, kind of 40,000 foot view. Hey, what's it like there and what's it like to live there and how does it feel politically? So please forgive me if there's any inaccuracies here. I'm just looking up general information and providing people kind of a general feel as far as making decisions for themselves and their family when they're generally looking for real estate in Colorado Springs. Let me know if I can be a resource in any other way. Reach out by text, call, or email after this video and recommend other videos you'd like to see. I'll check you in the next video.